down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Welcome to the Landlord Lunch, Investor Lunch, whatever you want to call it. A couple quick announcements. Savvy Boot Camp in Oklahoma City coming up, or Chattanooga. The book club, I had to pass on it this month. Sorry about that. And there's an accounting company here that specializes in real estate. They're in this building. They're phenomenal. They do my taxes. They do all my stuff for the last 6 years. They're in here. Flip it over, take notes. So it's my pleasure again. Since it was a packed room, you couldn't even get in last time. John was such a celebrity. They're like, let's do it more. Yeah. Let's learn more, guys. This is why you don't follow anyone else. Great. You do what you want to do. Because if I listen to every idiot, I would be broke, right? Oh, you can't do that. You can't afford that. Like, to me, the deal that Dean just brought to the table is a bona fide deal to me. That's the best deal I've seen to date, Dean. And I'm proud that you're not greedy. You could probably juice it up, but it's priced well. I mean, no one should negotiate with you. It should be a legitimate deal, right? It's rare. Don't listen to everybody else. The great thing about real estate, it all boils down to numbers, right? You could say it needs this, but the great thing I've learned from Michael over here is everything is bona fide. I'm like throwing numbers, Michael slapping me up for, it needs this, it needs that, and he gets in my face. You need to get an accurate bid on it. Because I'm like, it needs LAD, 5,000. And then I drove over there, no, it needs LAD, it's like 10,000. So if I wrote down 5,000, what I used to do 20 years ago, start writing numbers down, thinking I know what I'm doing, and then I do my offer, I do my bid, I get the house, and then I'm upside down because I didn't do my proper due diligence. But it always boils down to numbers. And the most important thing in numbers is the appraisal, is the ARV. Because the ARV, the appraiser, goes into the bank. And just so you know, remember last time that we were here, the guy got burned over on the bank? Mm-hmm. Remember that guy? Well, I hung out with him this morning, and guess what just happened to him again? He's like, I just got jerked around again by a bank. What? Same thing that happened to me on the appraisal? No. He said, they said they were going to write the loan, but they said, you have 9 houses now, you're moving too fast for us. So I of course I get all amped up, crazy, I want to kill somebody. You're telling me that this banker is telling you what to do?
How fast did he get 9 houses? I mean, in a week? Or
Pretty quickly. He's savvy. He's pretty down. He's a homeboy of mine. But I'm just saying, you can't operate on what other people say. Mm-hmm. And when other people say, that's why I always ask, Dean, what's ARV? And what did Dean say? What did Dean say? What was your ARV?
I believe probably around 120 to 135.
Okay, so I don't believe him, right? That's you just don't believe the guy. But we'll start with 120. So then we're just going to do this deal right fast. Everybody want to just do this deal real fast? Let's just do this deal. So you got 120, 4 bedroom, 2 bath. Very attractive, very rare. 4 bedrooms are rare, 2 bedrooms are rare. So this is a hot item. Now, obviously, it's great. It's built in 1995. I almost don't believe it because everything around this neighborhood is built in 1920s. But it's possible. But he verified that when he said, what? Habitat for Humanity, which is totally possible. So now, what I'm doing is the questions that I ask him, I'm verifying what he's saying. I'm seeing if he's a liar or is he trying to be honest. And you got to be this way with an appraiser too, because the appraisers, their main job is to cover themselves. Remember last time? Did you guys get the message last month? What was the big message I got out of it? It's what the bank requires us to do. Yeah. What does that translate to you? CY. Yeah, cover. And it's fine. Everybody covers yourself. So I'm verifying. So Dean says it's worth 120, 4 bedroom, 2 bath, probably no garage.
No.
Okay, probably cheap materials to build it. Probably what grade?
Builder's grade.
Builder's grade. Okay. So what would be the first thing you should look at? Concrete slab needs work. So you ask them the question, what's the work on the central heat and air? What do you mean by needs work on central heat and air?
Well, I would say if it's going to be me, I would bring in a good AC guy, see if it's worth fixing. If I'm going to spend $2,000 to fix it, I'm going to replace it. So $4,000, $5,000.
Now, when you mean AC, are you talking about the condenser? Or are you talking about the furnace box, the blower motor? So you looked at both? Okay. And we've already asked them, you should always ask, why aren't you buying it? Okay. What else? What else do you want to know about the deal? So you got to kind of do your quiet due diligence. He says it needs a roof. How much is a roof? Dean, how much is a roof?
For that house, probably
A-frame, simple.
$4,000.
Good job. We'll go with 4,000. AC 5,000. Okay. What else? Every time you walk onto a property, what should your cost be? What's a quick rule of thumb?
What's that again?
If you anytime you try to buy a property, I don't care if it's on the MLS or anywhere. What's a quick rule of thumb you should tell yourself before you drive over there? The cost
Oh,
of repairs. What's an average cost of repairs on every
15 to 25 a foot.
Okay, you do by foot, so that would be $15,000 or more. That would be almost $30,000 or $20,000. I always walk up on a property with $10,000. That's just a rule of thumb.
Easy.
Before I walk out of my office, I just write down $10,000 in repairs, because carpets, how much? $2 a square. We got $2,600 on carpet. He told us that we need 2 bathrooms. Okay. Hopefully you're working on the comp over here. I'm trying to slow you down here.
Yeah.
So the bathrooms need to be fixed.
It's got a top and a
1995 is going to throw me off.
It's all right. We'll just do 2 variables. We'll do a 1920 variable and we'll do a some variable. All right. So we got $10,000, which should be paint and carpet. 2 bathrooms. How much does it cost to get a bathroom juiced up? Throw a number out. Brandon, right? Brandon's your name? 5,000? Whoa. You're going to learn a lot today.
Are you talking redoing?
It's already got septic and everything. I mean, not septic, but it's already got water lines. It needs fixtures, tile, paint.
Fixtures, countertops.
Maybe even a bathtub just to be juicy.
Mirror. It does need a bathtub and new tiles around.
And that's scary that it's
Maybe a shower
1995 and it
insert
needs a
in
new
the-
bathtub.
In the 3/4 bath.
That's scary. It shouldn't need a new bathtub.
No.
Why?
Rusted out.
They put the tile on.
They didn't take care of
They
it.
put the tile on sheetrock, didn't they?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right. So we need a whole new
People
bathroom.
didn't take care of it.
How much you think it is? Did you say, Brandon, 5,000 per bathroom or 5,000 total?
Well, value that you get out of it, 5,000, but cost to do it, maybe 2,500 each.
Okay, good. Good job, Brandon. You did learn something. 5,000. That's what I was saying. $2,500 a piece. I can get it done for 1,000 or 1,500 if I'm sweating the dude. But if I'm not thinking about it and I'm like dropping it and just disappearing, $2,500 for that type of work, maybe. Because you got to look at it like this: vanity's $100, light fixtures $50, $150. Bathtub. How much is a bathtub today?
$200.
Okay.
Actually, 130 or something, but.
Yeah, 150 is what I pay, but that don't matter. 200, so that's 350 because you got to pay the dude to go over there. So we're at 300. Tile, another 500. So we're at 800, and then you got labor. So usually it costs me about $1,500 to do a bathroom, a low grade bathroom. $2,500 a dude's like.
6-foot vanities on them. I think they're 6-foot vanities.
All right, so that's how I verify my price. $2,500 per bathroom. Good job, Brandon. All right, what's the next thing? Outdoor, exterior. Always throw $1,000 on the exterior. Just
Yeah.
before. I mean, we haven't looked at the property and we haven't pulled comps. We're just trying to get an idea of what's going on. It's a frame house on the outside. It's got these brick columns. The windows are vinyl. So this is a smoking deal already. Just kind of depending on the repairs, because of the quality, because of where it is.
Yeah, it's like a wood siding on there. It's not vinyl, it's the wood.
So it needs to be painted.
Yeah.
So now we're at how much? Man, I just painted a house the other day. I got jacked on it.
Probably
2 G's. I usually
1,500 at least.
Yeah, I usually pay
Outside.
15. So, but I got jacked. I paid 2,000 the other day. So I would say 3,000 exterior because it looks like there's a ton of trees
Wood rot.
There is.
and some wood rot. So 3,000 exterior to be set. That's not even. That's like a wait. That's Michael would slap me by now. So I would say 4,000. Michael McClure numbers. 30,000 because he likes landscaping. This guy, I've never seen his properties. They're maxed out on the outside. I'm like, it's like lush.
Curb appeal.
I don't know what it is. It's too much money for me.
What
What
you
else?
say on interior paint?
Well, that's the total 10,000. Well, no, interior paint would be 2,000. I don't. At least 2,000. And carpet.
Reasonable.
Carpet is 2,600. Here, let's go. We'll break it down completely.
Yeah, let's go. I want-
So carpet, 26. I would say 3,000. You got probably some floor tile and stuff. 2,000 because you probably do the bathroom. I mean the kitchen. These are high numbers, and then the paint would be 2,000. So those 3 items.
Countertops in the kitchen, new
Ooh.
appliances.
They're killing me now. We're losing money.
What's wrong with cabinet tops?
You ain't even got to 25 yet.
All right, so
You might be able to salvage them. I mean, granted, I would
6,
probably
9.
put something nicer looking in
The
there.
old wood
all right,
grain.
so I'm gonna get a calculator out and let's just finish this.
Round
it's
top.
for market top, yeah.
We're gonna put more
but
pressure
they're
on John.
okay. They just look crappy.
Yeah,
So you could put
Old
you could put a new
1995
surface on them.
yeah, you could,
Well, this worst case scenario.
yeah. Paint the top.
Before we even
paint
drive
the
over
surface.
there, I want to make sure where I'm in the ballpark, because most of these wholesalers are on drugs. So it's like it's not even worth going over there. By the time I go over there, they're just like, who does this math? So let's just go. $4,000 for a roof. That's conservative. If you went retail, it'd be 5 to 7, but we can probably get it done for 4. Real AC costs about $6,000 today, but we put down 5,000. The bathrooms 5,000. So right there, we're at 14,000 for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Like you can't cut those corners at all. Then you got this exterior, probably 4,000. So we're not 14,000. Carpet's got to be 3,000 or tile. I mean, I'm a little high here, but I got 3,000 for carpet, 2,000 for tile, 5,000 total for flooring. If we want to get top rent, which how much you think rent we're gonna get? I can get $1,200 out of this deal if I pimped it out. That's why it's
I
attractive.
figure probably,
Because this area is so hot right now.
I'll get 9.
What's the cross
950. What is that? Indiana, it's between Indiana,
Just south-
is it Indiana and
south of 10th.
Blackwelder? Yeah,
Yeah, this
just
is-
south of 10th.
It's right here.
This is hot.
South of 10th.
Yeah.
10th Street.
All right. And then you got paint, and then we got something to do with the
John,
kitchen.
don't forget to add in that $400,000 house next door.
Right.
All right. Yeah, we'll throw that in there too. So 2004,
Now, there is a
6,
couple brand new
7,
homes over there in that
11,
area that's
16,
350 plus.
21, 25,000.
What'd you come up with?
25,000. And repairs. Let's make
25.
sure we say the word repairs versus
I'm gonna stop there.
improvements. Why?
Does that have to be permitted? If it-
Well, that's another class. But
Tax.
there you go. Somebody's listening. All right. Repair versus improvements. Make sure you learn that terminology. All right. $25,000 in repairs.
Yeah.
So we got
For
60.
120,
So 60.
low end of the.
Listen, don't get excited because you're trying to sell me the property, homie. Let me do the math. You already just shot yourself right there.
See, I told you.
See, if you were an attorney, you would have got fired by now. Because you always let the other person talk. So you got 60,000, because they'll talk themselves into drama. 60,000 for the acquisition. We can always beat up the wholesaler. Then we got 25,000 in repairs. So where are we at now, folks? 85. Elementary math. And our friend said it's worth 120. So now we get the 120. This is now before I even left the building. We got 120 times 0.70. That's where I like to roll. So, 84,000. So this is in my zone. I would buy this thing. If this is all verified, I'm gonna write a contract today. If this is exactly what he says, I'd buy it today.
For 60.
If I call my homeboy John, yo, what up, homie? Can you do me a solid real fast? Take you out to lunch. You sure? Yeah, I'll take you out to lunch. I like this place called the Loaded Bowl. Let's go eat there.
Yeah.
Boom.
What is it?
So-
Oh, the loaded bowl.
Yeah, the loaded bowl.
Vegan heaven.
So we're waiting on slow guy.
Mm.
Doesn't a computer do this for us? Why does it have to be a
I
human?
wish. Yeah. Okay, so what I did was I started out with just using the legal edition, and when I did that, nothing came up. So
Nothing, no movement in that neighborhood.
No movement whatsoever. So I went to the actual square mile. I pulled the square mile, and I did 20% on either side of the GLA or the square footage.
What's
So,
GLA?
GLA is the livable area, or the square footage of the house.
Come on, man. We're illiterate here. You're gonna tell me
Yeah.
out with the GLL. GLL. Here's your. Don't throw some acronyms at me.
So
GLL.
So, we had, 1,400 square feet times
Yeah.
0.8, and then do times 1.2, which gives you your range.
Well, hold on. Before you get into your thing, because you're doing a good job, let's go with my friend here. He said 120,000 divided by the square footage. Forgot to throw that in there, my own. So he's telling us it's $91 a square on retail. Okay, so that's a quick, did you guys see how I did that calculation? Okay, everybody knows how to do that? I don't buy houses necessarily on square footage, but that's how you, if you're gonna flip the property, or you have to have an exit strategy, you kind of have to run your square footage. I don't, I run it on what? Cash flow. I run it on how much is it gonna put money in my pocket? So that's my next thing. So let's just keep playing with Dean while we give John some grace. Father, forgive him. Being slow. But, you know, just people that are slow. It's okay.
No, I've got a
easy,
range.
is it?
Are
So
you ready?
okay, so I do 1,300 square feet times 0.8 and then times 1.2. So that gives me my 20% on either side. That's what the lender's gonna, 10 to 20% on either side is what we start with. I'm gonna leave the age parameter out because we're 1995 built. I'm at this point, I'm just gonna try and find stuff that's going to be similar in condition and location. When I did that, you'll see we ended up with, I started out just south of 10th, but all these right here are all
Are those active right
as,
now?
they're all as is. These are all cells. These are all as is. They're,
The red ones?
They're similar condition to the subject as is right now.
Green are active, orange are pending, red are
Okay, so
sold.
you're gonna give me an appraisal for the bank. As is.
Sort of, yeah.
But
Not
not ARV.
as is. We're looking for the ARV value. So what I'm
You're gonna see, it's your basis is your ARV. I mean your as is.
Yeah, you want to know.
Okay.
You're wanting to know what your ARV. So here we are. There's actually one cell right there south of 10th. So I grabbed that one. The subject is right here on the 8th Street, just below there. So I pulled it up to 16th Street,
Where's our actual one
like
on that?
expanding my boundaries.
Which is our property? The one with the X? No.
It's right here.
That the
It-
one
Yeah, it's not listed at all.
Okay.
Right where my cursor's at.
Okay, cool.
So I had a similar situation this week where there was a house, 824 Warren.
Mhm.
And so when you go to 10, everything below there is a different school district, but all the comps were on the north side of 10.
Right.
And so south side of 10th, very industrial, sort of, there's little pockets of houses, but there are
Mhm.
no sales down there because the vast majority of the landscape is actually
Industrial.
industrial.
Yeah.
Well, can we answer that question after?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
wanna remember
what's
that
your
question?
Yeah.
Because this is kind of a different scope, right? Kinda? Or is
Yeah.
it similar? Because we're not,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the school district that we're in, that's good catch.
Yeah,
What school district
yeah.
are we in?
And I'll show you a tool for that, and we'll talk about trends.
But write that down.
But
So
for right
trends-
now, because and it's sort of the same thing, because there's really nothing south of 10th, we have to go somewhere because the lender needs to know what the value is going to be for the ARV, right? So I'm going to go north, but like you really have to know these areas really well. So we always drive our comps, we drive the neighborhoods, we try and know the neighborhoods just as well as we can. So as you go north, as everybody probably knows, when you get closer to 16th, it starts to change quite a bit. The values start to skyrocket out. So I'm gonna bump it up to 16th Street, and I'm gonna go down to Western Avenue, and I'm gonna go over to here at Penn, and that's kind of my neighborhood boundaries for now.
I've got a question real quick.
Yeah, I'm in, Dean. We're going right after this.
Just from a financing standpoint.
I'm
with the
already
bank,
bought it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I've got 3 houses here
No-brainer.
that are on the same street, and the comps are $18 a foot, $27 a foot, and $19 a foot, and they're all sold within the last year.
You're talking about foot of land, or
No, I'm just talking about comparable sales on the same street as this house. So how do you keep that from killing you?
Are you talking about an ARV? Because are you talking about as is stuff? or are you
I'm just talking
as-is?
about as-is stuff on that street versus the ARV.
Well, I mean, I'm looking for the ARVs similar in condition. What is it going to be? Is what we're looking for. It's all about the scope
So
of work.
you have
If
the
bank-
leniency. You have the leniency to do that.
And actually, some banks will ask for both. They'll
Okay.
say, "I want to know what the as is value, and I want to know what the ARV."
Right.
So that way they can go, okay, well, if this doesn't take off, this is where we're at.
Right.
That
okay.
type of deal.
So I've never had an appraiser give me the as-is price.
Right.
Why do they list that into their proposal?
For the REO stuff, we'll do
You
several
have to-
different values.
But like as a traditional drive-by, you
No,
just,
yeah, you probably will.
well,
not
will
see
you
that.
have? But just insider trader information. Will you have an as-is? Do you base like you're doing it as is first?
I try-
And then you're building on top of that.
I go for the ARV and then I look at the as is. So
So
I'm
you
looking
build it
at
back down.
everything. Right now, this range that we're working it with right here, that 50,000
rough.
on up, that's going to be your rough. That's going to be your rough. That's going to be your
As
as is.
So you're 99. I mean, you're 65, 75, 79, 70, 75. So there's a $65,000 to a $70,000 as is ARV. How would you run that code?
That would be like maybe it's fixed, but it's kind of dated still.
Like just moved out.
cleaned up in hotel, right.
See what he's close. Okay, all right.
And then knocked out is
OG.
right now is this 138 to 175, depending on the finishes. And,
So that
and
would
I
be
would say that
140.
that's probably a gut remodel because your Habitat for Humanity houses are they're finished out and are very
Yeah.
minimal list.
There's no garage either. Do you play that as a variable?
Yeah.
How does that hurt? How much does that hurt the house? Because like I don't want to live in a house without a garage.
Let's take a look.
But I'm not average though.
Right.
Not that I want to
here.
park my car. I mean, like, I gotta put
garage
something-
garage capacity right there, all the way down. There's 3 right there that don't have garages.
Okay, what's
Where
their
are they
cost?
pricing it?
Yeah, like I want to.
Well, okay, so what we do is we'll take it to a sales grid, like an Excel spreadsheet, a sales grid, and then after everything equalizes out, you have what's left over. Whatever's left over is what you're going to make your adjustment with. Most neighborhoods, it's $5,000 for a 1-car, an additional bay. Some it's 8, some it's 10.
Overall value?
No. Yeah.
Only 5,000.
On
How
some
much
of
for a
them.
total missing garage? A lot of these old houses just don't have them.
That's what he's saying. He's
Right.
saying it's a $5,000 reduction.
Sometimes
build a
it
house.
depends on the neighborhood too.
But you can't even build a garage for 5,000.
We'll
That
go
doesn't-
in. I know.
Logically, that doesn't make sense
Right,
to me.
Right. So
Carport, $2,000.
here on this one here, garage capacity, you've got one. You'll see that the one that sold for the most, 175,000.
They do have a
It has a
alley
2-car garage.
in the
So,
backyard.
if you took that out, that 175 minus let's say $10,000, let's say each bay is worth $5,000. That's going to put you at 165. So that's going to be real close to this one right here, which actually has no garage at all. So we have to equalize it. If the subject doesn't have one, we
Awesome.
have to equalize it down.
So
or up.
trim,
Yeah.
garage
We're pushing
are the
an
final.
ARV of 165.
Well, settle down, Tiger. First of all, it's 160. Settle down, buddy. You're way off. Like he just solidified information for us. You can't manipulate it. But you hear what he said? So it's a basis point, a basis start because we didn't talk about trim. Is it brick or frame?
Frame.
This comp.
Oh, these
silly.
up here.
Well, let's take a look at them. So essentially, I started at that $50,000 one, and I just started clicking, and I clicked through each one of them until I started seeing something similar to the subject in all of its aspects, right? And that's right around this mark here.
So you have to be kind of human on this deal. You can't be. That's why you still have a job, huh? Because Zillow is trying to change everything, trying to robotic everybody.
There's a really good one.
Yeah, it looks like Nathan Cow. That's Nathan Cow right there.
Oh, wow.
Or that's somebody else. I know. I might know who that is.
That's nice.
Does anyone know who that is?
I thought Nathan was blue like that.
I thought so too, but there's another guy that I know. I don't want to say his name. That's doing that too. In Lincoln Terrace.
There's some nice houses over there.
Yeah. Okay. So, with your professional opinion, young man.
So this one right here, this is the one that's right like within 2 streets of the subject, and is actually on 10th Street, which 10th Street is
But this only
a
two
busy,
bed.
a busy roadway.
Yeah, that kind of hurt.
All right, Dean, sign me up. I'm ready.
So
List of things like
that one's probably hat hanger, but it's got a negative influence as far as location goes. But
Guys, I got first dibs, just let you know.
So yeah, so to
Wanna be
pull,
clear
so to pull
before
it all
we walk out of the
together. So to kind of pull it all together, I would have gridded those. I would have gridded into my software those top 10 cells, equalized them out, adjusted them, and then start kind of narrowing down to 3 or 4. This would have been probably the number one, even though it's a 2-bed. It's south of 10th, which I really like because, you know, just sitting behind the desktop, I really don't know. I'd like to drive it and actually tell you, because I was kind of looking at Google before we started doing this, and the neighborhood, it looks kind of rough. Some of this looks rough.
It's not the
around.
greatest neighborhood, but it is up and coming.
You know. Yeah, you've got to scrape. You've got to scrape, and they're putting a new build on there, right? So.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Nichols
Now,
Hills.
that house right next door, it's gone. It's gone, completely gone.
So yeah, that's. Now, as far as the 1995, I would probably expand my boundaries even more to look for something that was maybe similar in age.
I don't know if there's anything. There might be a couple other
Can you
Habitat
see?
houses in that
Is it in the
neighborhood.
flood zone, John?
But it's hard to say.
Because I can't do it
They've
on
got
my phone.
stuff all over that area.
Habitat, yeah. I'm sure they've built, you know, they've gotten those lots donated to them or bought them from the city.
So it's
you
a
know.
$150,000 house.
Roughly.
Here's an answer
What
to
is
your
it?
question.
Roughly.
Right here on the MLS, there's a little.
What'd you say?
You on the hydro thing? I can't do it on my phone.
You see this right here?
150?
You can actually click neighborhood, and then school.
Yeah, school is awesome on there.
Oh no.
So you can pull up school districts.
Yeah, take off. Is it in the flood zone?
Where is this website? Can we check it out?
Oh, that's MLS.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't think
And you gotta have a
so.
license.
So I don't have the.
Why is it all
code.
pink
It's
like that?
pink. 100-year flood zone.
so it is.
Yeah.
It's in the flood zone. Somebody else.
What?
Yep. I just ate up all your cash flow.
I don't got time.
This house is in a flood zone?
Oh no! It's X. It's X. My bad. It's
Well,
not.
if I had a computer, a real one, I'd do it
I
myself.
was gonna say, cause man, this thing sits up way higher than all the.
Yeah,
other
that doesn't.
places.
That doesn't.
It does- yeah,
that
it doesn't matter.
Go to Edmond. There's flood zones all around Edmond.
You can click that unify to find the school district. But what we'll typically do is if we have something where we'll go back in time and see if there's a trend. So I might go back 2 years. Now I can't use those cells from 2 years ago, but I'll look and see what's the trend there, if there is a difference between one side or the other, or I might just stay on that side and go further out in distance. But typically I'll go north, like you were saying, and use older data to make an adjustment up or down for that data, and just explain it.
Okay, are you answering her question?
I was. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I got you written down.
Yeah.
Did she get everything?
Is that
Did you
okay?
is that what you're asking?
Yeah, so the address was 824 Warren.
Any other questions on this one? And then we'll move on to hers. So is that your analysis, John? So I mean, of
Yeah,
course, it's not a
yeah,
full blown.
yeah, no,
So
yeah,
it's
it's
a
just
it's a
kind
tough
of a-
one, but it could appraise for 100 and what? So you were actually, yeah. I would bet my numbers on 120, and that just works within my matrix.
What about that, you talked about the main drags where the traffic is, does that detract that a little bit?
Yeah, in what I'll do there is I'll try and grab several sales to find out what is the difference there. So it's kind of like with the garage. I'll have a sample set of with garages and then without. A sample set with those type of influences and those without. And so once you kind of equalize that all out, you see what's remaining. Sometimes there is no difference between, you know, a busy roadway and a normal residential lot, even though I wouldn't, you know, personally, but sometimes, we have to take that out and look at the data and then go from there. So,
Does anybody else have any questions? Does anybody have a property they want to analyze?
You wanna analyze it?
Eric has an underground house.
No. You wanna analyze a duplex? Mess with that one?
I got a northeast
I
side.
pulled that. I've got that underground house that we did. Yeah. Did you have one?
I got one. I just had an appraisal done on northeast side that was way more than I thought it would have been.
Oh, that's nice.
That kind of explain. I don't know.
So you want to know? So what you're saying is that
I think it'd be a good
does that-
example because
Does that mean it's the path of progress, or other people are just dumb in the neighborhood spending more money?
I just know it's 1509 Northeast 19th, so it's 19th and Prospect. It's a 21936.
I know exactly where it's at. It's right by the projects.
21936. I'm thinking 25. It came back rates of 47.
Brick,
Brand
3-bed, 1 bath.
2-1.
Would you say the
936.
So who's that appraiser? What's his number?
You know, Jones.
I only deal with John. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm exclusive.
1509 Northeast 19th.
Got a finance question for you. So if you were to purchase this property, would you then, fix it up, get it written out? Are you going to then refinance it?
Well, this is a no money down deal. The banks that I work with, they would give me cash at closing. Just depends on what
Was it a
bank.
drop
Each
by?
bank is different. So some banks
So
only
you
do
want
loan
that?
80% of the contract.
Was it a drop
Some
by
banks loan
appraisal?
only 80% or 75% or 70% on the ARV.
Yes.
So that's the first question that you should ask your banker. How do you loan money? Is it on ARV or is it on contract? Those are the 2 questions that you need to solidify. Because if you don't have those, you'll get penalized for being successful for negotiating a great contract. Because let's just say it really is worth 120 and he's got a 50% ARV. I mean 50% of value. The some banks out there are going to do 80% of 60,000. Right? I show them Dean's contract, which my cost isn't 60 because I got closing costs. There's other costs involved here. So let's just say 60,000 is the number times 0.80. They'll give you more. They're only going to write me a check for 48,000. Well, we know that we have 85,000 in it. That means I'd have to show up to closing. I mean, I'd have to pull $40,000 of cash out of my hiney to get this deal done, and it would probably limp along. So you should always go for the capital.
So you're
Like
right.
this is just stuff, just business in general. Like I've been limping everything along in my whole life. You should stop limping stuff along. If you're going to do a deal, raise the capital. If you're going to buy a business, raise the capital. If you're going to start a business, have the capital. Or get an investor to get you the capital.
Let me just see
Because you'll never grow or be successful because you're always thinking, I don't have enough money, I can't do it, it takes too long, and it will take too long, and you will be under budget, and you will get hammered, and then you'll be depressed, and you won't get the deal done. So,
That's right.
so in this case, I mean, I have cash, so it's different. But like, I would leverage a property. Like, say if I had no money, and I had property, I would leverage to get this property. I would find equity in my own residential. Say I own $100,000. Well, that's not a good example. Say I own a $200,000 house, and I only owe $100. How much can I get out of? How much cash can I get out of that house? On an owner occupied, it's a $200,000 house. 80% times 0.80, 160. I can get $60,000 in cash. So I could get this deal done with a no money down deal. I would write the contract up with Dean, call my flunky bank. Flunky bank would be like, okay, we'll give you 48,000. 48. They would close it. They're totally risk reversed, right? Now they have a $120,000 house for how much? 48. So I'm working for who now? For them. Then I got a double whammy. Now I'm my own residence. My wife is slapping me in the face. Hey, why is our payment going up? Oh, don't worry about it, girl. I got this.
Yeah.
And then now I got to take that money, but then which you could do all this. It could be a no money down deal, and then refinance it out and get it to the 160. But then you're double. Then you pay more. Yeah. So it just depends on what your strategy is. The best thing is to buy. My strategy today in 2019 July, was that where we're at? July, whatever.
Yeah.
Use private money. Use someone else's money that wants a return quickly. So hey, can I borrow 85,000 in 3 months, and I'll give you how much do you want? $2,000. There's people out there that will give you 2 G's. Never order an appraisal, close the deal, get the cash. There's a ton of people. So that's how I would do the deal today.
So
But you have several options. That's one deal, private money. You have the flunky bank. You have a good bank that's a real estate bank that will just pull on an ARV. That will just, when the ARV, what Zach was talking about, hey, it appraised for $47,000. Well, how much did you get the house for? 15,000?
5 plus back taxes.
So what does that mean? Like 8,000 or 2,000?
I'll be in it probably 9 purchase.
So $9,000. So if he had a good bank the appraised for 47,000 times point. Let's just be conservative, 75. He got $35,000 minus $9,000. He's got $26,000 to play with, and he's still in the deal at 75. But the east side is difficult to get rents. It's not impossible, but it's just, I would definitely, take a second look at that. This deal, I know that I could for sure run my numbers at 1,000. So then let's just go into the financing. So let's go back to Dean's deal. So we have 85,000 all in, right? And the goal as a real estate investor is what? No money in the game. So 85,000. This is how I run my numbers. So I got 85,000 in the deal. I run 6% interest. I run 15% 15-year mortgages.
That's fair.
That means my payment is $717. Taxes, insurance. It's kind of skinny. Since it's a 1995 house, the taxes are going to go up. If
It's $600 somewhere,
taxes are going to be $1,200, so just get ready. It's going to. You okay? Are you lost, homie? Oh, okay. See you later. He's upstairs. So, so right now this deal, if it's 85,000, I borrowed 85,000. I have no money in the deal. My mortgage payment on a simple loan. This is how I run all my numbers at 6%, 15-year AM. You should not run your numbers on 20 or 25-year AMs. You should, or try to get those loans. But if you don't, if you run all your numbers and it barely leaves cash flow, when the market turns or there's a problem, you're going to get hammered. So let's just play with this number, 717. So for sure the taxes are going to go up. It's going to be $100 a month for sure. And you're insuring a $160,000 house now, probably, if you did it right. Your taxes, your insurance. So we got $200. $917. So you better be sure you get the right rent. But it's a 4-bed, we can probably for sure, worst case scenario, what's worst case scenario? Section 8. And what's a good Section 8? On their website, it's $1,100. I would never go that route. So it could be $1,200. You're on it, get on it. All right. So it's a skinny deal at $1,200. I'm in it for $900. Cash flowing $300 is a home run. That's if I can get $1,200. So it's still, I would probably go back and chip away at my repairs. And really, these are my rough numbers to get me to drive over there to see if this wholesaler knows what they're talking about. Then I'll really look at the structural situation. Because, we haven't talked about the thing falling over. And there's a reason why why are they selling the home? There's all those scenarios. Is it a foreclosure? Do you know?
No, they wanted to move to a better house. Newer neighborhood.
Cool. All right.
They're working the system for sure.
So is it still a deal? Now it depends on who you are. If you're a part-time real estate investor, this is a deal because it's pretty. You can get a pretty decent tenant in there. You can get 4 college students in there because the college is not far around. But you're going to have a horrible maintenance. I mean, that maintenance, you're going to have a ton of depreciation of tearing up your property. But you could get $1,600 a month off this property because you could rent $400 a bedroom, roughly. So there's some play there, but you still need to. It boils down to construction cost. And what does it cost you? What's your time, cost for the money, and then can you get it done? All right, where are we at now? We're on your deal. So no, the 47. So why did that? Is that a true comp? No, I know you're not going to dog some other appraiser, but
no, I think once we pretty much did the same thing that we did on the last one, we kind of narrowed it down. We used 20% on either side. We found the location of it. We started out by just doing the development name, but it doesn't pop up. So we went from northeast 23rd down to
what's that neighborhood
northeast
called?
8th.
Gladys Place.
And we did from right here. Actually, it would have been Lottie.
those are cells right there. Those red ones.
Yeah. Do from Lottie over to Martin Luther. So that's our neighborhood. And I would specifically try and stay right around the subject. These are
19
these are
Prospect?
yeah. These will be your best sales.
Okay, let's start clicking on those. Let's see what they say.
So the lowest one sitting over here is 12,000. As is.
Oh, I love the MLS. Gives you all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the listing prices on both of those, and look how far look
That's
how
mine
far.
right there.
Huh? You
No,
have it?
I'm wrong. We're off by 2 streets, sorry.
Uh.
I was waiting for a pop.
Boarded up,
Wow. That's rough.
Over 15.
and you bought yours for 5, didn't you?
Crazy.
Investor special. We're not into the just dated in livable condition just yet.
I thought that was a bed out front.
It did
What
look
is
like
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what in the world?
It does look like a massive bed.
$49 a month rent, right?
Right here, whoa, that's a deal. Click on this one. Look how clean that is.
Tarp is cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
Nice
cool.
lawn, yeah.
Those are the
Really
dead
take care
bodies.
of that lawn.
John, would that mattress count as extra square footage?
Right. Outdoor living.
Just watch the needles.
Outdoor living.
Wait, guys, look at this for a second. Look at this. Hey, look, you need to be paying attention to trends. It listed for 30, and what did it close at?
33.
Now, if you went to you need to pay attention. Because go back to his very first ones, they were like cut in half.
Yeah.
They were off by like
There's a new
started out too
development
high.
going over there at Kellum and Euclid.
This
There's a
one
new
went
house
up
that's
too.
being built right there.
Is that over on that
Look,
east side of that neighborhood?
people are overbuying,
I saw that.
overpaying.
Really
That one
nice
looks
stuff.
rough.
Really nice stuff. $140,000 houses at Kellum and Euclid.
brick,
though. It's all.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh my gosh,
I mean, look at the roof on it.
I wouldn't even
Oh,
be
man.
over here. I'm out. Buy my stuff at full retail.
A little under.
That's $100 off. Come on, Jerry. He's like, that's under.
Well, it was a little bit.
Poor Jerry. $100, Jerry? Was it like $900?
So that's probably where I'd start right there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So then you just
I'd start
pull
working
those.
from there.
1900. 1900 under.
And
Okay.
and your the top of your range is going to be in this area right here.
So
but
does it spit it out
I'd
from
start
here?
right here.
Or did you click a button and it says, hey?
Yeah, I'd select these and then grid them up as I study.
The
through
software
these
doesn't
two.
do it for you?
No, I gotta. Yeah.
Come on, somebody rewrite that deal.
Yeah.
Hit click a button. It should just tell me.
Exactly.
See, that's pretty nice right there.
That's
Or
OG.
nicer.
The outside looks
Yeah, it's got
rougher than the
cabinets.
inside.
Yeah.
How much was this house?
47.5. So that's where you were at, right? 45-ish.
47.
Yeah.
But it's 2 bath though. And it's cozy. That's so funny, these houses. That's a landlord right there. That's a blow and go right there.
Oh, yeah.
How much of this that's a $1 square foot carpet.
48.
Okay, let's look that dude up. How much did he sell that for? How much did he buy that for?
Okay.
Stewart Title, First United Bank.
Yeah, let's-
Interesting. That wrote that loan? I need to get MLS access. I'm over here playing around. There's a-
Or prop stream, give you a lot of that.
19?
Yeah, so this guy.
So it doesn't tell you what it was before that, what he bought? It doesn't.
Looked like maybe a package deal
Yeah.
out of a package.
Okay, I'm curious.
For 141.
What's his name?
Riggins bought it. Kenneth Foster.
What's the subject property?
Was seller.
It's back in 08. Ken Foster bought it from the seller.
It's
808?
1808 Northeast 19th.
19th.
Yep.
Interesting. Somebody made money here. I want to know who. I want to see how much they made. Start flipping houses on the east side. But that's a 4-bedroom.
Hey, when you're cruising through there, I've got an address on Northeast 8th Street I'd like to.
19,000.
That's rough.
So the guy bought it for 19,000. Lived in it.
What is the deal?
Rent it.
Outsides are rough as can be, insides are
Yeah.
nice.
Hang carpet.
Hey, then look at that. That's awesome. That's the washer and dryer hookup outside.
What was your address?
1416 Northeast 8th.
Northeast 8th?
Yeah. 1416 Northeast 8th Street.
Is there a Brandon and Scott in here? Oh, okay. You with my homeboy? Oh, okay. I was making sure people texting me.
Got the baseboard heat.
This one?
This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Robert Elder.
That's not good.
Oh, but we got a
It
$200
works.
vanity
It works.
Yeah. Nice vanity.
until they start stepping on them.
Yeah, really.
Kids love those. Those are awesome. Step
Yeah.
on those. They're fun to, balance beam.
Just break them right off.
They're awesome. Don't put those in homes. Do the inset wall heaters, same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't put those in.
Yeah, Robert was showing an inset wall here a while back.
Yeah, that's what. I don't buy these anymore, but that's what I used to put in.
Yeah,
65.
That's nice.
Yeah, they've done a good job now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice.
Who's? Someone's
What's that,
smoking a
Rick?
lot of
It's,
drugs.
65.
Euclid and
Wow.
Culberson area.
I sold the house. I sold the duplex in there for $80,000 that I bought for 11.
2-1.
Nice.
1-1
Wow.
Jeez.
before the market started, just as it's popping like this.
Hmm.
Before
About a year ago?
maybe 2 years ago, right when it started getting hot. But it's Kelly, and that gas station is on Kelly, right there where the mansion is, like 3 streets down, like 18th. 18th and Kelly in the Culberson, because I recognize that neighborhood. Culberson or Culberson or whatever it is.
I just bought one on Euclid.
And it appraised for 80. I couldn't believe it. And the guy bought it. Ooh. You're pulling comps on this one?
Are you looking for comps on this one? He says yes. This.
I didn't know that we were going to do landlord lunch every Wednesday and just have you analyze all our deals.
You start charging a little more at the door?
Yeah, like you're not even getting paid. This is all volunteer. This poor guy.
Wow.
All this money went to this AC that's I'm so nipply in here. Can't.
Oh, you're not too far away from where we were at anyway, so that's not too bad.
Right, that's what.
Does anybody have any questions for Superstar? And on your notes on the other side is John's email and phone number. John Wright, certified residential appraisal, Wright Metro.
Cool.
Call him 405-820-1071. He does need to eat. He does need to do appraisals. It would be helpful. He offices here. We're thankful that he's here.
How much you charge?
It all depends. I mean, we have different rates. We have full appraisals, all the way down to just desktops, and then if there's anything I can do to help, like, kind of get you off the
We can do an
the
introduction.
fence sometimes is the best.
So he's a real estate investor himself.
Yeah.
He's been doing appraisals for a long time. How long have you been doing? Like, I guess we should have. I guess you guys didn't know him. Okay, I want you to tell us who you are. Sorry,
Yeah, I
thought you
got
guys
into appraisal back in 2005, and so I've been appraising since then. I did some Fannie Mae review work for a couple years. Pretty much, I've worked in multiple different offices as an appraiser, and but my dream and goal was to do real estate investment, and that's how I got into it. I bought a rental property over in Bethany, and followed the appraiser around, and then a neighbor of mine was an appraiser. So yeah, about 3 or 4 years ago, my wife and I, we started getting back into investing, because we've been raising kids and trying to build business, and so the business is built and doing well, and so now it's time to charge ahead and go full force into investing. So I've done some.
The great thing I love about John is, like, he owns property, so he understands how to analyze a deal, and he asks the questions of, like, what are you going to do with the property, what is going to be use of it, and then where the bank is coming from. So in my mind, John's skill set is like the liaison between gangster investors trying to do no money down deal to bankers that are not trying to give you anything. So he's like the go-between. So he knows the knowledge on the left side where banks are talking to him, this is what we're looking for, this is what we want, and gives him parameters, and then on our side. So it's a great thing to know. But yes. And what do you charge? You charge like a drive-by is $200, $150?
Yeah, like a drive-by is usually right around 250 to 300. A desktop's 100, 150, something like that.
What you're doing here?
A full, a full appraisal is 400 to 500.
So I just made $150 already.
But if there's questions that you guys have with
I haven't even left the
comp selection or something like that, most of the time it's just, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
I'm stuck in this situation and here's this. If I can answer it in a couple minutes and you guys move on down the road, I won't charge anything.
That's your certified bank honor that?
What they do, they have their own rotation of appraisers, and so I would actually have to be on that list.
If you can't request appraisers.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to, I guess why do people hire you on the side? What's the reason?
Listing purposes, litigation, private appraisal, just to find out what you're worth, primarily. Yeah. Divorce, things like that.
Okay, well it's almost 1. So check this out. He's on the 3rd floor in this building, and we're going to probably move up there next week. It's going to be extremely busy next week. Does anybody know who we're having coming? Anybody pay attention? Who's next month? Next month. Sorry,
You said attorney,
an attorney.
talking about contract for deeds.
Lease purchases and contract for deeds.
You gonna put it out?
Ryan
on,
Shaler, the attorney. So it's going to be packed next. So that the date is August 21st. So this is going to be a very good topic.
You can have it recorded and that we can hear it on the internet. I'm gonna be in Peru.
Oh, okay. Is that why you got that shirt on?
That's right.
What you
Getting
doing
ready.
out there?
What you put
Probably.
Seeing family.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll probably put it on the internet. But it'll be a good time to come. Same thing, get here early, 10:45, 11:45. I'm so tired. Any other questions for John? We appreciate you coming and volunteering your time and helping us understand. I thought last month was phenomenal. If you didn't know John last month, go back on the podcast, savvypodcast.com, and listen to John's episode. It's about 4 or 5 down. And I mean, it was a wealth of knowledge. It was so packed and crazy in here. People are like, bring them back, and look where it's at.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have business cards, John?
Yes,
They're right
over there.
in the box.
Okay.
In the box.
Do you do any appraisals for Oklahoma Credit Union?
I think I'm on their list. Yeah,
Are you?
I think they're
How about
with
commercial?
Appraisal Shield.
Okay.
I do not do commercial. I do multifamily up to 4 units.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you recommend for commercial?
Lonnie Stevens.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you guys are looking for commercial appraisers, just text me. I'll text you 3 or 4 phone numbers.
Okay. We may need
I'm
one
just-
on a shopping center.
You bet. Yeah, just text me. It'd be easier just to do that.
All right, and then you mentioned real briefly about trends. Did we cover that? That's what the gal needed, the trends?
Yeah, a lot of times. Okay, so we had a really unique one not too long ago. It was actually Kevin Durant's house downtown. When he left us, his house sat on the market for a long time. It was a townhouse, right?
Yeah, but he bought 2 townhouses and squeezed them together.
Yep, he did. Here's KD's place.
Did it sell?
It did.
Well, what did it list for? What did it sell for? And you represented the buyer?
Yep. Yeah. It
Or the bank,
it was
I guess.
It was a yeah. Yeah. So he
So it sold for $1 million.
sold for $1 million. So
He
they
bought it for 1.7.
bought it for 1.7.
He put a ton of money, $1 million in it, or
Yeah,
close
put
to.
a ton of money into it. The third floor is where you actually walked into the other side. You had to go in through the doorway or go in through the basement up. On the 3rd floor, there was a desk and it had a switch underneath it. You click the switch and that doorway opened. It was a
To go to the
hidden
other
deal.
side?
You had to go to the other side. And on that 3rd floor, he had a studio music, like the whole floor was boards and wires, and it was.
He left all that there?
No, it was gone at the time, but there was like wires all over the place.
A music recording
It was
studio?
all ripped out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a big studio. It had glass booths everywhere. And it was pretty neat. They wouldn't let us take pictures from that side, just that one side.
Yeah, but I mean, whoever bought it had to remodel it now.
Well, okay, so the story was the guy that bought it, he bought the whole thing. And so what we were there to do is appraise that left side. The left side is what he was flipping. So he bought the whole thing for like $1 million. Wow. Put a couple of $100,000 into remodeling the left side, and then put it back on the market and sold it for 1.5.
And now he's a free unit.
Now he's got a free unit, and the whole thing was he was going to use that second unit for parties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for parties or just different things like that. So
Leverage that deal, make money.
Yeah.
Holy pump cool because I got $1 million party pad.
So yeah, the
So you appraised. So you got the call. For
What
the
kind of
lunch.
square foot?
it was a grand total of 7,000 square feet. Of course, what we ran into was high. Well, I'll say high space. It was over improvement.
Yeah.
Complete over improvement. There was nothing in the state of Oklahoma that's sold that's been that big. That was that type of property in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, you got Westbrook coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
That guy he paid $2 million, and houses around him are
Nichols
700.
Hills.
No, he doesn't live there. He lives over on the east side. He lives in Oakdale.
Oh, okay. I thought he built one.
He lives in Shadow Ridge.
Cool.
It's fascinating.
Probably has his name on it.
Well, I've been over there. It's funny.
A lot of the finishes were really nice, but it's some of the custom stuff we see already in the higher end houses. It wasn't any different.
Well, that crown molding was probably there, but the best use of space. The
Chandeliers
couch doesn't even
everywhere.
fit in there.
Mm-hmm.
That living space is changing.
Had an elevator in the middle on both sides, so you can take elevators up. They said that he wouldn't live anywhere without an elevator because his mom always had issues with the stairs.
Cool. So that dude actually lived there?
Yeah.
That seems like such a tiny little.
Yeah.
When you walk into it, the pictures really don't. I mean, when you walk in, like the shower was like huge. I mean, it really was big. Most of my pictures I'm
But
taking
look
from
how
right here.
janky
looking
that
down,
is. That's like that. You can't be a baller with that tile. What the hell? Freaking flesh tile. Subway.
Subway tile.
Who buys Subway at flesh color?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
That's like even the guy that owns Air Comfort Solutions, his house is.
My house don't even look like that.
This is where the doorway is. So you click underneath and it swung open. Right here.
That paneling is.
Saw that panel.
Well, we appreciate you,
Yeah.
Mr. Paying high taxes for us. I'll get a shower in the garage, too.
So on this one, we ended up
Whoa,
going
whoa,
back.
Go back. Hey. What's that right
This
there?
is a community center.
Oh, the community center looks baller.
Yeah.
Like that's not his? Dang.
You're like, wow. That should be his crib right there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Someone needs to be his realtor. Give him my number.
Right.
Give that dude my number, Katie. What up, homie? Let me help you. Westbrook paid $2 million in a neighborhood that has like $700,000, $900,000 houses.
And Nahara had a beautiful home.
Who?
It's like Nahara.
Oh,
like
yeah.
10,000 square foot mansion.
Wow.
On 60 acres of land. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I would have. Well, that's pretty cool. You can put that in your resume.
So let's see.
So what'd you appraise it for?
Comp selection. And this is where I ended up going 2 years back.
This must have been hard and nerve wracking.
Yeah, it
Were you
was.
frustrated?
Yeah. I went 2 years back for sales because there just wasn't anything else around.
Did you get scrutinized at all?
No, it
So
flew
they-
straight through
so-
underwriting. Yeah.
Nobody said.
Yeah.
So they were
Of course,
happy?
I wrote a book on it.
I mean, you probably spent
a ton of.
Did you charge extra for this one? Oh, all right. Anyway, what'd you think of John today? Good job.
Awesome.
Great job.
All right, Dean.
What is the Savvy Boot Camp? Are you struggling to get to the next level as a business owner? As an investor? Do you want to multiply your income? Sign up for the Savvy Boot Camp, a strategic and supercharged one-night and one-day event. designed to shortcut your learning process and propel you forward. Just value, no upsells, and an intimate setting to build relationships with like-minded investors. We will be covering how personality profiling can make you a millionaire, outsourcing and the nitty-gritty of maximizing your property management, scaling your business through systems and automation, technology hacks you should be using every day, and how to raise private money. Go to www.savvybootcamp.com now to register or to find out more.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.